You guys are so lucky, and so are we.
Your script. Now unsuck it.
Right.
And those nights, of course, you've done a show.
And he slammed the door angrily.
Anyway, what is shaking, man? How have you been, Jim?
Hi.
Hi, Ryan. Hey. Oh, you know, we were wild. I remember RJ, you, Christian, Siri, how are you?
How about a dance? What do you say? I got some moves that I'd love to show you. Let's find a spot and dance the night away. How about a dance? It's always fun. Come over here, let me get to know you. Can't beat a band to lift your spirits, huh? You look so handsome. How about a dance? Let's make a start.
Last one.
Little sweet. You deserve the sweet reward of a Diet Dr. Pepper.
For what?
For arranging these pillows that are purely for show and not for sleeping.
That is sweet. My wife's obsessed with her pillows.
Even the pillows have pillows.
Honey,
Hey, babe.
the big one always goes in the back.
That's what I was telling him.
He's not just telling me that.
It's basic interior design.
Yeah, it's like Pillows 101.
Little sweet diving into the pillowscape.
Later, buddy.
Diet Dr. Pepper. It's the sweet one. If I ain't got nothing, I got it with you. If I ain't got something, I don't give a damn, 'cause I got it with you. I don't know much about algebra, but I know 1 + 1 = 2. And baby, it's me and you. That's all that we'll have when the world is through. 'Cause baby, we ain't got nothing without love. And darling, you got enough for the both.
Good evening. It is Thursday, May 28th. I'm Justin Guarini, and you're watching So What Happens Now Live, the show I created to help share your stories, give you a place to be heard, and to show you that you're not alone in the moment-by-moment challenge of making it through the new COVID-19 reality that we're all living in. My guest co-host tonight is the lovely and talented Laura Osnes, star of stage and screen, and just a wonderful human being. I can't wait for you to hear what she's up to, and I'm looking forward to grilling her with my Oprah-esque questions as we play the game We're Not Really Strangers. To save Laura from completely bearing her soul alone, I'll also answer the questions and ask you to answer them as well. And my producer Chuck and I will be flashing up your answers on the screen. So this is a group participation party. All right, before I bring Laura on, I'd like to actually tell you a little bit about an amazing community that you can become a part of today. If you're interested in becoming a part of a really beautiful community of individuals who value things like family, peace, fun, positivity, connection, a place where politics of any kind are absolutely banned, and a place where people are interested in working together to overcome the worry, isolation, uncertainty, and stress that the COVID-19 crisis threatens to overwhelm us with every single day. All you need to do is text the word HOPE to 310-510-6034. That's HOPE to 310-510-6034. 310-510-6034. If you are in the US or in Canada, that is my number. And I do receive your text right on my cell phone. And the Community of Hope stands for Health, Opportunity, Peace, and Empowerment that you see down there below. And yeah, that's my number, 310-510-6034. You can text me. I get it right on my cell phone and I respond. So text the word HOPE to me there, and I will send you a message back, as well as a link to our Facebook community. Now, look, if you're outside of the US and Canada, no worries. Right over there, the Facebook community, you can be involved with it. We will drop a link in the comments here. And if you are watching from YouTube or Facebook, at the very least, there is going to be a link there where you can just go clickety-clack and come right in to the community that way. My friends, it is going to be an awesome show tonight, and I'm so glad that you chose to spend your time here with us tonight. All right, let's get to the main event. I'm so glad that I get to introduce my guest co-host for the evening, Laura Osnes. The lovely Laura Osnes starred in the title role of Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella on Broadway and received a Drama Desk Award and her second Tony Award nomination for Best Actress in a Musical. She also created the role of Julia Trojan in the Tony Award-winning new musical Bandstand on Broadway. Her other Broadway credits include Bonnie in Bonnie and Clyde, Tony Award nomination for that one, just a little award nom. Hope Harcourt in the Tony Award-winning revival of Anything Goes, for which she was got a Drama Desk, Outer Critics Circle, a Stare Award nominations. Nellie Fulbush in Lincoln Center Theater's production of South Pacific, who also wasn't English, and in Sandy as the Sandy in the most recent revival of Grease. Currently, she is best friends with Cinderella and stars one of the stars of the show that she created along with Benjamin Rauhala. Is that how I pronounce that, Laura? Rauhala. Yes, yeah, great. She's nodding backstage there. I see her. The show is called The Broadway Princess Party, and let's take a look at some of the wonderful work she and her awesome castmates are doing. Let's take a look at some of the wonderful work she and her castmates are doing. This is a live show. Sometimes videos just don't come up when you ask them to. So should I do it, Chuck? Here we go. I think no, don't do it. Chuck's gonna do it. Chuck, my producer.
I just wish we could sing them all and stay all night. No chance, there's no way. I won't say it, no. You swoon, you sigh, why deny it?
Humming and frequently humming, the lighthearted. I found them both. The words, only feelings. Let us meet this moment unblushed.
The dream that you wish will come true. Party, the princess party. You're all invited, so come and join the fun. So let's get started. I know something's starting right now. Watch and you'll see. So things are happening every day.
Welcome, Laura Osnes, to So What Happens Now.
Justin, hello everybody. Thank you for that amazing intro, and what a cute little sizzle reel for Broadway Princess Party.
Yeah, you like that? My producer Chuck put that together just for you. And so thank you very much for being here. This is so awesome. You came on my podcast at one point, and now I'm so happy to have you here because the whole world has changed slightly since we last saw one another. Right? And so the first thing I want to know is, what is life for Laura Osnes like now in today's world?
Exactly. Well, thank you for having me, and I'm so thrilled that you were doing this show. Congrats on that. I am hanging in there. I'm doing okay. My husband and I happened to buy a lake house in Connecticut a year and a half ago, and we have it as like a weekend getaway. And actually, we Airbnb it on occasion as well. So we've been so grateful to have this place just out of the city. And we're here with 3 friends of ours who all. Oh, that's my hubby Nate, who
That
needed
handsome man.
So we have 5 people under our roof with 2 dogs, and we're very grateful to actually have each other and have our little quarantine family.
So are you doing that the family or friends or both?
It's friends. It's actually Broadway's Jared Spector and Kelly Barrett.
I know them.
Broadway. Dear friends of ours that we were planning to actually way back in March when this thing happened. We were coming for a long weekend, March like 11th, 12th, 13th or something like that. And then Broadway shut down on the 12th. And we were like, maybe just stay a couple days, just see. And now we're going on, I think, day like 78.
That's amazing. Oh, that's so great. Well, please tell them I said hello.
Thank you. I will. Nate says hi to you too. And yes, I'll tell everyone else as well.
Yeah, awesome. So all right, so you're there, you're doing very well. Before we get to a few of the things that you're doing, I would love for you, because we're getting so many wonderful comments, I'd love just say hello, quick hellos to some of our viewers. So let me see here. Let's see. Oh, hi, Jim from Indianapolis. What's shaking? Someone named Facebook user. There's this funny thing that if you don't actually, I think if you go on Facebook and you click on this stream, there's something up there where you have to go to StreamYard, which is the service that I use, and it allows you some sort of signing away of your life, as we all do digitally now, right? Where it's like I use you, they get to use your name and put you up like Jim there. But
right.
this is one of my favorite ones. Facebook user says, "Hey, Laura Osnes." It's
an honor to meet you.
It's an honor to meet you. Hey, look, we love you. It's great to thank you very much, Facebook user.
All caps too.
We're laughing with you. Hi, Patty. How are you doing? How's it going? Ben Pascal. Hello. Hey, Elena Beth from Montreal.
Hey, Canada's tuning in. I love Canada.
Yeah, that's right. How about that, eh? Let's see. Hi, Laura, from a fellow MN native. Yes, followed your steps through reality show. Yes. And your father's been the eye doctor since I didn't know your dad was a doctor.
My dad's an optometrist, and he's had a practice. He has actually 2 clinics and actually just bought a 3rd clinic in Minnesota. So he has a bunch of doctors under him.
Well,
Shout out to Yankee Eye Clinic in Eagan, Minnesota, and Rosemount.
That's amazing. Yes, that's right. People will never run out of eyes. So your dad's gonna be in business for a long time.
That's true. Dr. Osnes, he's my biggest fan.
The other Dr. Oz. Oh, I love it. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. Hi. Welcome to our Hope community viewers, our new viewers, and our longtime supporters. You could have been anywhere on the interwebs tonight, and I'm honored that you chose to be here with Laura and I. Okay, so Laura, I know that you're only 19, but do you remember before cell phones and the internet as we know it? Do you remember like the time before the interwebs as we know it?
I mean, yeah, I do. I have to say, I still have the same email address that my mom created for me when I was 13 or whatever.
Is it AOL?
Yes. AOL. Don't laugh. Well, it's okay. You can laugh. It's fine. Yeah, laughing with me. Yes, I still have an AOL email address because I just have never felt the need to change. It still has worked for me all these years, and I still have it. But I remember like instant messenger too was huge in high school, and I like saved conversations. But that is still when the interwebs existed. You know, I grew up though like loving like cassette tapes. I had a karaoke machine.
Yeah.
Like a cassette tape player that like had 2 cassettes and like you could plug in microphones and sing to them.
Of course.
So, yeah, I grew up with that. That was for sure it.
Absolutely. What is your go-to karaoke song now?
It's usually actually Summer Nights from Greece. And I'm like, I'll get Nate and I will sing Summer Nights, or we'll do A Whole New World from Aladdin.
Of course. I mean, two classics. And I think No, I haven't heard you sing A Whole New World, but I can imagine you singing A Whole New World.
It's on my Carlisle album, actually. The song that you played from How About a Dance, Nate and I sing that as a duet on my Carlisle album because
that's amazing.
we met doing a production of Aladdin in Minnesota.
That's so wonderful. My go-to karaoke song is Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. And the reason why is my best friend Mike and I have for years, long before anything, we would go out and we would karaoke that. And like we would do our Elton John, George Michael impersonations as we did it. And so the reason why I bring that up is because there was a time before all of social media and the interwebs as we know it, where it was just we had to sit together and we had to talk and look at one another more often than we do now, right? And the best way to communicate information or things that were funny or just wonderful factoids about our life was through stories. And now more than ever, I think it's vital to discover or rediscover our own stories, share them, and even listen to other people's stories. That way we can keep reminding ourselves that we're not alone and that no matter how low we get, especially these days, that someone else has been there and gotten out or is there right now with you, and maybe you can lean on them and learn from them and even find out a way together. I know just because I've seen the two of you interact, I know that you've leaned on your husband Nate and Nate has leaned on you. What's like one thing that you each do for one another that has the most impact on your peace of mind during the pandemic?
We've actually found great peace in just getting like quiet time in the mornings, be sometimes together and often alone too. Even just like I'll stay upstairs and in the bedroom and he'll like go to the living room and just kind of get in touch with our thoughts. I journal. We're both spiritual as well. So like just getting time to like tune everything out when life before, it's like you're on the hamster wheel and you just keep running. And now everything has stopped and there's actually been a kind of beautiful pause, a beautiful rest that I think everybody's been forced to take in the midst of probably feeling anxious. But he's talked to me off the ledge a few times. I've had definitely have had days of like anxiety and I don't know, just getting his perspective on it. Even if we disagree, it's nice to have someone else just bounce things off of and talk things out. Exactly like you said, I think communication is so important. And then I think me for him, I tend to be more of the, and this is kind of backwards because usually girls are more the spenders, but I tend to be the more frugal one. So I've been the one going like with groceries, going like, babe, we can save more if we buy. He went to Costco this morning and like with the mask, the whole deal. And he was like texting me things. He's like, babe, we can get 2 peanut butters for $5 instead of 1 for $6. And I was like, I know, babe. I know.
That's the trap of Costco. I cannot leave Costco without spending like $600. It's the most crazy thing. And I'm like, I have a pair of underwear and like 6 peanut butters. And I'm like, how did I spend this much money at Costco? But it's the trap. But yes, it's
your butt. You get so much more bang for your buck. You also get 600 things to take home. That's $600.
Like, how am I going to fit these 80 olive oils I got into my pantry? And so, yeah. So I think that's amazing. So in the spirit of leaning on each other and making sure our voices are heard and sharing our stories, dear viewers, Laura and I would like to read some stories of the week for you. All right, Laura, why don't you read this first story?
Sure. This is from Suzanne Dinubilo. This week has been similar to the other 4 to 6 weeks I've had working from home. Similar, yet not the same. This week, I found out how it feels to have people I've never met face-to-face reach out and wish a happy birthday to me. New to social media, it was invigorating to experience a day filled with Instagram friends who I've spoken with daily for a year now. In the group, HOPE, Hope, I've come to enjoy the posts of familiar members and enjoyed welcoming unknown names into the community. This week has been similar to other weeks, only better. Thank you, new friends. Yay, Suzanne.
That's so sweet. The next story comes from Ed, Patty, and Sofa. Gadzooks, Justin. You know, it's been a long time since I've heard a good Gadzooks. Gadzooks, Justin. Here's today's story. My daughter Sofie has her 8th grade recognition today. I love that. 8th grade recognition. They used to call it a graduation. Now it's a recognition. She is an amazing girl. She's been given awards in art and math. Tomorrow would have been her last day. I would be very grateful if you could send her a message. She would be excited to hear you say her name. Thank you, and you rock, Ed, Patty, and Sofie. Well, hi, Sofie.
Congrats, Sofie.
Yeah, congrats. Laura and I'll both send you a message. Thank you very much, Ed, Patty, and Sofie, for writing that. I want to just stop here for a second. Laura, do you remember your 8th grade graduation? Or like 8th grade, just in general, like going into 9th grade. What was that like for you?
I definitely remember 8th grade. I kind of liked 8th grade because sixth grade was the hardest for me. I think that because like middle school, like transitioning into middle school is like crazy. By 8th grade, I kind of felt like I knew how to like do that. And then I also remember the summer between my 8th and 9th grade year, our community theater did The Wizard of Oz. So I remember that. That's what I attribute to 8th grade was the year I did The Wizard of Oz, even though it was really after 8th grade.
Yeah, sure. I remember in 8th grade, I was like, I can't wait to, and well, backing up, like going into middle school, junior high, whatever you want to call it. I remember being like, those 9th graders look so huge. They're so old. I was like, whatever. I was probably like 100 pounds wet. And I just was like, oh my goodness. And then 8th grade, I was like, I'm going to run this school. I definitely didn't run it. In 9th grade, I only ran track, basically. And
well,
I was,
more than a lot of us did.
Yeah, I was a theater and a choir nerd and proud to be. But yeah, 8th grade is awesome. 9th grade is like, depending on where you live, Sofie, that may be high school for you. The beginning of high school for you, or the very end of something. And I know that this year, for a lot of the students that I work with, and I know Laura works with students as well, it's like they're seniors graduating from high school, or they're graduating to whatever next higher learning institution, and it's just such an emotional time. If someone had told me in 8th grade, 9th grade, or 9th grade, or as a senior in high school, that not only my show was being canceled, like my senior show was being canceled, but like prom and graduation was being, like all that, I would have been absolutely crushed. So I think it's safe to speak for Laura when I say that our hearts go out to all of you out there, both parents and students who are just coping with the fact that a major milestone in your lives has been kind of just gone up in smoke. But there will be others. And
I was just going to say, it's like we put so much weight on this one event or this one moment or that one show. And yes, it is special. But I also know you guys are so young and you have so much to look forward to. There will be more shows. There will be more honor ceremonies. And I know a lot of schools are doing like virtual graduations, or even still doing like Zoom readings of their spring musicals. I'm really
yes, absolutely.
People have gotten.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Well said. Oh, and Judy, one of the members of our Hope community, says congratulations, Sofie. Yeah, and that's absolutely right. Okay, Laura, why don't you read this last one?
Great. Here. Hey, Justin and Laura, because I'm here. It's your friend Jess from Los Angeles, California, USA. And I just wanted to stop and tell you and say that I'm going in for surgery tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Pacific time. And it would mean a lot if you could keep me in your thoughts and prayers, from Jess Throop. Will do, Jess.
Absolutely. That's super easy. I know the unknown, especially going into surgery at this time in history, must be a challenge for you. But just know that certainly Laura and I are sending you lots of good energy, quick, fast healing prayers, love. And if anyone would like to leave prayers for her or good energy, whatever it is your spiritual translation of that is, please would you do that for Jess?
Strength, peace, it's going to be good.
Yes, absolutely. Just take nice, deep breaths. Now, if you'd like to share your story with our community and maybe even have it read live on our show, all you need to do is text the word HOPE to me at 310-510-6034. That's 310-510-6034. It's right over there. Boom. And I will pull up every Wednesday or Thursday. In this case, I reach out to all of you and I say, hey, just let me hear your stories. I'd love to know where you are, your highs, your lows, everything in between. And it's always a pleasure to be able to read that here on this show. Okay, I'm getting a little bit loose now.
Nice.
Because Little Sweet. My producer likes to throw in the Little Sweet breaks every once in a while just to kind of cleanse the palate. Okay, so it is time now. The funny thing is that I can't, every single year, Laura, I'm like, we've been doing it for 6 years, that campaign. I'm like, I can't believe you pay me to do this. This is stuff that I do for my children and my wife to make them laugh. So anyway, it's been an absolute blessing. So speaking of blessings, you are a blessing, and it is time to get our Oprah on. That's right. Thanks to our friends at We're Not Really Strangers, available at we'renotreallystrangers.com. We're going to answer a few interesting questions. We're all going to answer them. By the way, we're not sponsored by We're Not Really Strangers. We just love them, and we give them plugs because we use their questions for our show. So we're all going to answer a few interesting questions. Don't worry, they're deep, but not too deep. And I fell in love with them because of the amazing answers that I get from my guests. So here we go. Are you ready, Miss Osnes? Mrs. Osnes. Okay. Here's one that I've gotten some interesting answers to. What is a compliment you wish you received more frequently? Interesting. It's always interesting to ask this one because it's like, well, it toes the line between like, is this like, am I self-aggrandizing when I say this? But yeah, what is a compliment you wish that you received? Because you get a lot of compliments. I've seen many of them all across your social media. Things like Osnes is perfection, and we love her voice, and all rightly so. Right? No. I know. But like, rightly so. But what's something that you're like, I wish I would hear this more often? Yeah.
I'm trying to think like something that like I wish I was good at that I'm like not good at.
Right.
Actually, it's vulnerable to like say these things. Part of it has to do with me with like, I feel like I'm smart, but I'm not smart. I was always a very good student, but like, I'm not like an intellectual. Like if you give me like a trivia question, like I don't know that kind of stuff. Like I will fail at any, like, you don't know Jack, like trivia contest. Like I'm not good at that stuff. I need to study for tests. So if someone, and like I dropped out of college, I only went to school for a year and studied theater. Like I'm great at musical theater, but like I have no other skills. Like, if there's something else, like I wish if it was like, you're so intellectual. Like I don't read that much. I wish I liked to read, and I don't really enjoy reading, and I should. As an actor, it's an important thing to be able to do.
Well, you like reading scripts, right? You like reading
scripts, or just history, knowing history. Those things are important. But when I'm in a show and I have a thing to read about or read for, then I get excited. But like in general, or just general knowledge, things like that, I'm not as smart as I wish I was. So,
yeah, I agree with you on that one. I think that for me, I think, and we talked about this on the podcast episode. It's like, oh, well, we both were steeped in dinner theater at the start of our careers, right? And like, I went to college. I literally went. Freshman year of college, I studied vocal performance. And then the next year after that at the same school, because I basically flunked out of vocal. Like, how do you flunk out of vocal performance? It's because I was a terrible student. I'm a much better student now. But anyway, I was a terrible student, and I went to my juries only knowing, I think, 2 out of the 4 songs I was supposed to know, and I totally, I'm like that guy where they're like, don't be a Justin Guarini at juries now at that school. And then the next year, I went and I studied musical theater, and then I went to a different school after that and studied just straight up like Meisner. And so, yeah, I feel like, I don't know, what is the comment that I wish people would say about me more? Just that, like, it's so hard to say because I don't take compliments well. That's something that I don't let it in, right? Because I so maybe just like you took that compliment really well. That's a lame answer, but I really think
that's a nice.
You really took that compliment, because I have a very difficult. I can give compliments all day long, but something about compliments just make me say no.
I guess I've just learned over time for things like that it's like you do have to kind of learn the hard way sometimes. It's like you want to be gracious and say thank you without feeling like haughty. You're absolutely right. It's like it's kind of this like very fine line of learning how to handle it graciously without being like thank you. You know?
Yeah, but I think that we know people who fall on the other side of that equation. Sure. But I think that mostly comes from, I think, maybe a lack of self-confidence, probably more so than a huge ego, you know?
I was just going to say that too. Because a lot of times deflecting a compliment is also not gracious. Like, oh my God, I love your voice. No.
Yeah, and you know what that does?
Like, just say thank you. Just say thank you.
Right. And because when you say, oh no, stop it, no, terrible, you're robbing that other person of giving to you.
Yeah.
So interesting.
See
why I like these questions?
And they can talk. You're absolutely right.
True. Okay.
I want to hear what other people say though. So write in your answers.
Oh, absolutely. I've got let's see. Oh, Ed. I'm gonna bring Ed up here and Sofie. Sofie says, thank you. You're quite welcome, Sofie. It is our absolute pleasure. Said you hear them matter. Girl, you matter. You matter.
You do matter, Kelly.
You are here.
We're telling you that right now. We're giving you that compliment. You wish you heard it more often. You matter.
That's right. You matter. What is that? It's from Waitress. You matter to me. Listen to that song. There's a beautiful song from Waitress. You'll love it. Okay. Michelle Lee said, you have plenty of skills. Yes. Extra important in today's world. Something that Suzanne said, my aunt taught me to always answer a compliment with thank you. That's right. Just like you said, Laura.
Just say thank you. Just say thank you.
Absolutely. And Michelle, just to reinforce that, Kelly, you matter. You matter to at least 3 people. I would venture safely to say you matter to a lot more people than that.
And I can also say that the people who don't think they have skills probably have skills. You know what I mean? Like you can probably do things that I can't do. I have very specific skills that can get recognition sometimes, but there are a lot of things I can't do.
Yes, amen to that. Amen to that. Somebody actually, a coach in a mastermind, said to me recently, is like, not to me, but to somebody else in the mastermind, write down a list of 10 skills that you have, and you'd be surprised what you come up with. And what's interesting now, because we live in such a freelance world, that when you go to, for example, I think was that Michelle Lee, who said, I want to find out, have more skills, be told that I have more skills. If you go to Fiverr, FIVERR.com, that's a great place to show off freelance skills. Check that out. I have no stock or anything in Fiverr. I just know that that's a place that I've gone to get like logos done or to get things translated into ebooks and whatnot. So that's a wonderful place that if you can figure out some skills that you're passionate about, you can get them going there. Okay, let's move along, or else we'll be 50 minutes on this one question. We've got a lot of great stuff ahead. Okay, here's another one. Getting my Oprah on. What are you still trying to prove to yourself?
That I'm an intellectual.
Right.
Let's see.
You know what? I'll go first while you think.
Oh, I have a good one. But go.
Okay, go. You go ahead then. Ladies first, please.
I was just gonna say I have always been afraid of TV film and the camera. Broadway's always been my dream. I have been training for musical theater my whole life, doing theaters, community theater, the whole thing. I've been training for Broadway forever. I just last year branched into, I did a movie for Hallmark, and I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. I didn't sleep for 3 nights leading up to it because I was so insecure. And I've been auditioning for TV film for 12 years, and I've booked 2 guest spots that were each 1 day on camera with like 1 line in 12 years. And I'm like, I just have gotten like, I'm not good at that. That's not what I do. That's not my forte. I'll audition, but I just was terrified to suddenly be like, I have to lead this movie and I have no idea what I'm doing. and I learned a lot. And I'm starting to gain a little bit of confidence. I'm starting to have a little more fun doing that, but I still feel like I have a lot to prove for myself in that realm.
Yeah, absolutely. In the Key of Love. Is that
yes, Justin.
There you go. There you go. I know. I've seen it. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I have this thing. It's right here where for some reason I've got this thing. I don't know what it is when I do Broadway. I mean, when it comes to Broadway auditions, walking on Broadway, just like you, it's just like love it. This is where I belong.
Yeah.
But like when I'm auditioning, I always have to be relax your jaw. Just be present, right? Because I'm constantly like, you aren't doing any of this correctly. And so I get it. Let's see what some other people are trying to prove to themselves. Oh my Lord, Elena Beth, that I can successfully complete my PhD, girl. Woo!
You leave.
Go on. Absolutely believe. Let's see. Mel says that I can accomplish and overcome anything that I put my mind to. That is true. Absolutely true.
Never matter.
Absolutely. And Judy says,
The Key of Love.
There it is in the Key of Love.
Guys, it was on today. I posted on my Insta. It aired today.
Yeah, it was on at noon, I think. Eastern Standard Time. I do my homework. So you would think live audiences would be more scary to you than a TV camera. You would think that, Judy. But what's so interesting is that like the TV camera is like in it, like you can see into your soul on the TV with the camera.
There's nothing to hide behind. Like it's so close. Like you can't fake it. And like any imperfection, you're right. All the weird things in your face, I get really self-conscious.
Oh man, they had to completely just toss coverage for me at certain points during from Justin to Kelly, which was like the only major movie I've ever been in. Yeah, the only major one. And so like because I had like a pimple the size of Texas on my face.
People know that though. People need to know like no one is perfect. Like
no, it really is. There really is. So trying to prove
not.
Yes. And this is my best friend's brother-in-law, Gregory Kramer, says that I'm a better dancer than Braden. His son, Braden, is like, he's like theater, Broadway bound. This boy can sing, he can act, he can dance, he can everything. And so that would be a feat. I want to say he's on 10. No, he can't be that old yet. Greg, type in how old Braden is because he's young. He's not. Was he born at my baby's age? I can't remember. He's somewhere like near 10.
He's not like 18. He's not. I was just curious.
Oh no. He's still like he's still a youngin, but he's 11. That's right. Greg says he's 11. That's right. I knew he was around there. Oh man, he's absolutely amazing. So let's move along. I think what I'm trying to prove to myself is that I can branch outside of entertainment and actually be a good marketer and educator. I love to teach, right? But like there are so many coaches and teachers who are broke because they're just terrible marketers. Like they don't know how to get themselves out there. And so like I've been studying for the past 2 years, like the nerdiest of marketing things. And like, I kind of love it. Nice. Thank you. And so I'm trying to prove that I'm actually a good marketer and that I can put my stuff out there. So, okay. Oof, man, I didn't pick these in this order, but we're rolling. You still have some time for us, Laura? You still good?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, good. Dinner's at like a little after 8, so I'm
okay, great. Well, I want to be respectful of your time because I know that you just got off a class before you came onto this. So let's get it. Oh, you know what? Let's do this before we get to that next question. There are also questions in here that are sort of like asking you things about me and me things about you, which is very interesting. Okay, so check this out. This is interesting, and I think I know what my answer will be. But those of you playing at home, you can say what maybe Laura or in me. You'll see. I'll just ask you the question. Shut up. So, what parts of yourself do you see in me? So, those of you playing at home, what parts of yourself do you see in either me or Laura? And I will answer what I see of myself in you.
Okay. I see joy.
Yeah.
I see kindness. I feel like Cinderella right now, like charity, and kindness.
Well, if the shoe fits.
But it's hard because then you're also saying that about yourself. Like, I'm so nice, and I see that in you. Like, but I'm saying, like, I see joy.
You are joyful. You are extremely kind. I've seen you in multiple situations where you could be unkind if you wanted to be, and I've never seen you make that choice. And so, yeah, you are kind.
I can have moments of passive aggression. I'm rarely full-on aggressive.
Yes, especially when it comes to competition in board games.
You know me, competitive. I'm very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, there's Cinderella. Competitive. I also see in you creativity and what's innovation, innovative creativity.
Sure, yeah.
And I feel like I have a little bit of. I'm because of that.
Let's see. I see in you tenacity, like a real sort of like when you want something, you will go for it, and that is exactly who I am. It's that sort of that competitive nature.
Yeah.
I see sweetness and light and kindness in you, but beneath that is that sort of that steel, that like rod of steel, right? Where you'll bend, and maybe sometimes you'll feel like you're breaking, but there's this like rod of spirit and something that cannot be broken, that is surrounded in joy and sweetness and kindness and light and that stuff. And then what else do I see of myself in you? Of course, joy and sweetness and kindness. And yet I also see this like very deep, sensitive, soft, very easily pierced heart. And I think that people...
I'm gonna cry. This is like for me.
I see. Well, I see you, and I really appreciate it. And it's just like in the most kind and friendly way. I just want to like wrap my arms around you, and I think that's part of why people feel the way they feel about you, and maybe the part of why they feel. I mean, look, we're human beings. We have bad days. I curse, you curse. You know what I mean? Like it's just like all that stuff where there's a dark side to all of the light that we have, of course, but. I see in you this really super sweet, fragile, like delicate heart of glass. And I know that I feel that in myself. And as much as I'm like, I am fine, underneath that, I'm also like, I'm not fine.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, that's what I see.
That's beautiful. I'm gonna write some of that down. Like, I love the word tenacity. It's absolutely right. It's like there's a kindness and a sweetness, but it's like it's a backbone. It's like it's an ingenue with a backbone, or like, having that strength, a steely strength underneath several layers of sweetness and kindness. But that's great.
And I know, as strange as this will sound, I know that we are kind, we are loving, caring, inclusive people, but neither one of us are people to be crossed. And we'll just leave it at that. We'll just leave it at that. Okay, so okay, let's move on to this one, because this is great. Oh my goodness. And look, Megan, I see beauty and compassion for all and both of y'all. Thank you so very much. So
I saw your comments. Resilient.
Yeah, and these are all things that are within all of you as well. Remember, that was the part of the question. And so okay, let's move along. We got a few more questions here to go. In one word, describe how you feel right now.
Content was honestly the first word that came to my mind.
Yeah. Mine is open.
Love it.
I feel open when I it's just, and it's also part of your energy. It's part of the energy of these questions, but I just feel like open and at ease. And for someone who is a bit of a control freak, in some ways or others, being open, being vulnerable, especially publicly, can be a big challenge for me. So I feel open and content.
That mountain was climbed today, right now, for this moment.
It was
open,
and I know that I know, like Andre the Shield said in his Tony speech. You know, the top of one mountain, just the foot of another, and there's going to be peaks and valleys and all that. Tomorrow, most likely.
Right. Well, I know. The minute I hang up, I'm something else. But like that moment.
Exactly. The COVID roller coaster.
I'm just super content and happy to be here with you and everyone watching.
Good. Well, I appreciate that. I feel wonderful. Let's see. Lisa Nicole says optimistic.
Nice.
Ashley Wool says empowered. Love that. Melly Mel says sad, which is also beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Pascal says anxious. Amen. Kelly Miller says you're not alone. So Kelly Miller says supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I love it. Michelle Lee says right this second it's a mix, mostly happy. And Noah Dickinson says I feel chill.
Chill is nice. I like chill.
Chill's good. Chill's really good. Okay, so a few more questions before we wrap things up, and you can get onto a very, very well-deserved dinner. This is something that I asked. We had James Snyder on the show last week, and
James.
I'm sorry, Broadway's James Snyder on the show.
Harry Potter himself.
I mean, hello, like what a great game it is. I love it. What title would you give this chapter in your life?
Ooh. A few things come to mind. I feel like I need to talk it out or like justify it.
Oh yeah, like it'll be like what is that? The Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or whatever it is, where you just don't get the answer. You're like you know,
okay, I know it's not this. I know it's not that. Totally.
Yeah,
like,
go for it.
And I've already said this a little bit, but like the great pause. You know what I mean?
Look at this.
That. Oh my gosh, Michelle Lee.
That came up before you said it too. That's so funny.
Whoa, mind meld.
So the great pause.
Yeah. That's why. Okay, well now I don't need to talk it out. That was meant to be. It's a great pause. But the reason why it maybe wouldn't be, the only reason why is because I still feel like I've been surprisingly busy during this time. I've been so grateful to be teaching a lot and doing things like this, and being reached out to like do master classes and Q&As and like singing for benefits and like still making videos of myself. Like I'm still find myself, being creative and working and connecting with our community, and I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
Playing ping pong. I've been playing a lot of ping pong too. I actually have my computer resting on the ping pong table.
That's awesome. I can't imagine the four of you playing ping. Do you do doubles? Is
yeah, almost every night.
I can see it in my mind. The four of you in that house. And you said there was a fifth person. Is there a pet?
Well, we do have two dogs. We have Kelly and Jared's dog and our dog Lila. And then there's a fifth friend of ours is named Colleen. And she like goes to our church, and she's a mutual fifth party who didn't have a place to go. She was alone in the city. We were like, come to the lake.
Oh, that's wonderful.
She's so great. But she's not in business.
Yeah. No worries. But like, I could just totally see the four of you. Okay, I'm gonna go with a couple more questions. Okay. What'd you say? I missed that.
I just said I'll send you like a picture or a boomerang of us playing ping pong. It's pretty great.
I would love to see it. Oh man, I haven't seen. Man, it's been when was Kelly and I think we were in Wicked together.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So yeah, we did our 9-month tour together in Wicked on Broadway, and that was probably one of the last times that I saw her. And so please, again, tell everyone and Jared and Nate as well.
Totally will.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. This is one that we're probably going to just. I feel like maybe we can end on this one because I think would be. Oh, you know what? I think a better thing to do would be to answer this question. I would love to hear this. What advice would you have for someone who loves to sing as much as you do and wants it as a career like you have, but doesn't have a driver's license and doesn't know how to go about it? This from Francis Christine McCauley. What do you think about that, Laura?
Oh, do you need a driver's license to be on Broadway?
I don't think you need to have a driver's license to be on Broadway, but you need to get yourself to auditions and all that. I mean, obviously. So, there's Uber. I think that part of the equation is pretty easy to solve with Uber or Lyft or whatnot.
Sure, Lyft. Right. I hope you have an ID in your life, a passport or something. it's tricky. This business is hard to get into. And for me, it was something I came out of the womb knowing I wanted to do. Like, I started like acting out musicals in my living room. I did my first show in 2nd grade. Like, and my parents, thankfully, were always supportive of me. But musical theater is always something you can come back to. Like, neither Justin or I have degrees in musical theater and have been pursuing it. I only went to school for a year, like I said. And so you can continue, like, we both teach, so you can take master classes from professionals, especially now virtually. The person I taught right before this, you guys, was a girl in Japan. It was 7 a.m. in Japan, and she had gotten up early to take my 6 p.m. here in New York, like a private coaching to work on an audition song. So I am blown away that I feel like now more than ever, we have access to anything we want virtually, because you don't have to be in the place. This is what's so cool. We're still able to connect online. You can take classes virtually, even from your living room with real professionals. But continuing to audition and put yourself out there, just say yes. Like, the community theater won't know about you if you don't show up and audition. You can take voice lessons. You can continue to watch movies, and like, you can also buy. Do you guys know the series Masterclass? The like professional, like Helen Mirren is teaching like acting. I watched Natalie Portman's on right. Before I did my movie. I was like, maybe Natalie can help me know what it's like to be on set. Like, it was really informative. Like, you have so many resources and tools that are at your fingertips with technology and the internet the way it is right now.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Expert advice from an expert. All right. So thank you very much for that question. Okay, we're going to wrap it up on this question. We're about 52 minutes into the broadcast, and I know you have a delicious dinner waiting. And this is a good one. What part of your life works, and what part of your life hurts?
Ooh.
All right. While you think about that, do you have anything that's coming to your mind right now? Or you want to take a little second?
I can take a minute. You can go first if you would.
So, what part of my life works right now? That's a really good question, because I'm highly self-critical, and so I'm thinking like, well, what really works? What works about my life? Mm-hmm. I think that what works about my life right now is the fact that I am committed to expansion inside of what is basically the global contraction that's happening right now. I often talk about with my students, that for hundreds of years we've been expanding in terms of technology, in terms of civil rights, although we have a lot further to go, as recent events will show you. But we've been expanding, things are happening faster. It's travel times are shorter. And then all of a sudden, just, a few months ago, we went from this ever expanding world to a huge contraction. And yet inside that contraction, we have the opportunity, much like you were just alluding to, Laura, to continue to grow and continue to learn, probably more easily and more cost effectively now more than ever, because everybody's in the same boat. We're all thinking like, where's that next paycheck coming from? And so that has an effect on the market in terms of supply and demand. And so that's working in my life, the commitment to expansion, getting up in the morning and journaling and going for a walk and like listening to marketing and making sure I'm reaching out to my friends. I have a whole routine that I go through. And so it involves this expansion in my life. And so that's working. I think what hurts the most is that expansion will sometimes come at the cost of a connection the way I idolize? No. Whatever. The way that help me out. What's that word, Laura?
I think idealize. I would think the
idealize. Okay. Trademark Justin Guarini 2020.
Connect.
Right, like the ideal sort of connection and relationship that I want to have with my wife and my kids. Good. It's lovely. I love it. I mean, I am a hands-on dad. My kids, like I kiss them, I hug them, I hold them. My wife and I, like our relationship is so good. It's probably better now than it's been, not in a long time, but like it's been great. But it's like extra good now because we're like, oh, we just have each other and we like being around one another. We love one another. And so like, but I know that I'm sitting here and I'm studying, like, marketing and traffic and building a sales page. And, my producer, Chuck, is also a partner of mine in what I'm doing with my coaching and my master classes and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like trying to just drink from the fire hose. And yet I miss those little moments of, with my kids. I miss those little moments with my wife. And so that hurts. And I do make the effort to balance, but some days I'm just like, I just want to take a hand grenade to all this stuff that I've been doing and then run with them, run away with them. I'm determined, and I would let you answer this question in a second, Laura. I am determined when this is done. And I've spoken to my wife about it. My kids are like, well, but my wife like, we're gonna do it. Like getting an RV and just going across country. I get one of those, like, one of those things, and like going across the country. As long as I have an internet connection, I can coach, I can do all my other things that I need to do. But like just going and being together, because believe it or not, we have a lovely home, but we function so well in a small space. There's 5 of us and we function really well. So anyway, that is mine. I would love to hear yours, Laura, and I know that some people are making
Isn't it crazy? You need to feel like you have to take a quarantine from the quarantine. You're like, I just want to get an RV and like, forget it all. And you're like, wait, we're in a time where like we're having to forget it all. It's so crazy that it is so surprisingly busy during this time. That was a really insightful answer and awesome.
Yeah. What works in your life and what hurts?
I feel like what's working for me right now that I'm actually surprised about is the teaching thing. Because I teach on occasion. I get asked to teach a lot, and people say I'm a good teacher, but I don't love it as much as you seem to. I'm kind of like I always kind of am like, all right, let's see. To all the kids who are taking class with me, I love you all. Like, I do enjoy it. And to be honest, it has given, but that's what I'm saying. It's working right now because I find that I'm surprisingly fulfilled by it. It feels like it's giving me a purpose during this time when I can't be on stage or share my gift singing or go from gig to gig or be with my Princess Party cast or, it's giving me a purpose, a reason to get up in the morning and like put clothes on and do my face a little bit because I'm going to be, inspiring kids over the internet. Yeah. And it's even bringing in a little bit of money, which has also eased my anxiety about the need to like have to pay. How are we going to pay for everything? I have even a little bit coming in and it just eases my anxiety. I feel like God is like providing right now. And I'm so grateful. So that's working to my surprise. What's hurting right now, I think, is the fact that I miss what we do, and I miss the community and all of my spring, like graduations and shows that have been canceled. Like all my spring concerts got pushed to the fall, and now everything looks like from the fall is going to be pushed to next spring. And I think what hurts right now is the unknown of not knowing or having a date when people will feel comfortable or safe gathering in large groups again to experience and create art. And our business as we know it, I think, is going to change for a while. And I'm okay with it. Again, like I'm hopeful and I'm encouraged by how creative everyone has been with ways to continue to do what we do through this time. But I think it would be easier if I could wrap my head around like, by this date, we just have to get through this many more months and then we know it's going to like be normal. And I just think it's going to be a really slow process back to normal, and it's okay, but it hurts.
Yeah, for sure. That was a really wonderful answer too. And yeah, I mean, I know more people, I think it's safe to say that you and I have been fortunate to work a lot and to have, a lot of great gigs. Yeah. But there are people who make the money that we make look like nothing, like pennies, who are more anxious. So it's not like necessarily a money thing, you know what I mean? Like I know more wealthy people who are just like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Yeah. So it just, wherever you fall on that, that vanity metric, it's still anxiety is prevalent. And yeah, I think, September is supposed to be the date that Broadway opens, but I think that is highly optimistic. Right?
I agree.
Well, I mean, come on. And
Optimistic slash unrealistic slash I don't know. Yeah, optimistic.
Yeah, optimism. Let's just say optimism.
I know.
When the recording's over, we'll be like, "Girl, that ain't happening." And so,
Yeah.
that being said, I that really pains me because this year was supposed to be a big year for me. I was supposed to be presenting on a major award show. I had a Broadway show coming in the fall. I mean, so I feel you. Well, let's see what Lisa Nicole says. Right now, my work life hurts. I interviewed for a different job exactly a week before the shutdown. I was offered it before my interview was over, but now it's all been put on hold. Yeah. What's working for me is being a good mother. What's hurting is missing my family and friends and trying to adjust to this, quote, new normal, close quote, where everything changed in a matter of days. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Let's see. I don't have anything.
Justin froze.
Did I freeze?
Froze for a minute. Just go back to the.
Okay, good. The interwebs is kind. I don't have anything I can say that is working or hurting. It sucks that
When my sister and I can get a little respite time.
That's a beautiful way of putting that. Yeah. So, well, look, it's rough all around, but what isn't rough, I will say, is what you are doing as we wrap up the show with the Broadway Princess Party. You're actually doing a virtual party itself. So if you tuned in a little while ago, viewer, you will have seen a viewer. That sounds so cold. Dear viewer, dear what? Viewer, like I was somewhere in Russia. Like if you just tuned in right before Laura came on, you saw this beautiful video of all the things that she's doing and has done at 54 Below and around the country. But now you're doing that virtually, aren't you?
We are, yeah. So Broadway Princess Party is this concert series I co-created with Ben Rauhala, is how you say his last name.
Rauhala. Oh,
Rauhala.
Forgive me, Ben. Forgive me.
No, you were good. It was 90% there. And we started 5 years ago with all the girls, and it was super fun and just became so wildly popular that we started branching out and doing a tour version of it with 3 girls. So it's me and Susan Egan, who was Broadway's original Belle, and Brittany Reed, who was Jasmine in Aladdin, and then I was Cinderella. So it's been awesome. And when I haven't had, a Broadway show, Bandstand closed 2.5 years ago. So when I haven't had a show, this has been a really, really fun, exciting thing to get to work on and build. And we're like an official LLC, and we have a merchandise line and all of that. And so we had a whole bunch of spring concerts we were going to do across the country that all got canceled. And so we just launched a brand new collection of virtual offerings, and you can do like personalized shout out videos with the Princess Posse, we call ourselves. We're doing a Q&A tomorrow, just with the whole Princess Posse team. We're looking to hopefully do a virtual concert very soon in June, date to be announced soon. We're super excited about that. Doing Q&As and teaching master classes too through the Broadway Princess Party website.
Oh, amazing. So what is the website that we can all go to if we want to be a part of the Broadway Princess Party?
You can type in, it's BroadwayPrincessParty.com. It's that easy. And then you can see information there. And then we also have the shop. All of the virtual offerings are on our shop website. So in the upper right corner, I think it's shop because you have to buy it through there, through our merch thing. So you'll see our new virtual offerings on that part.
What are the kind of things? I know you do master classes, you do shout outs, you do birthday parties. Is there anything else that you do?
Yeah, we do. Well, Q&As too. We're doing a Q&A tomorrow. Group master classes, shout outs. And then, hopefully we're doing, if you want to hire us for your private event, let us know, contact us. And then hoping to sell tickets to an actual virtual party very soon. For sure.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that is so wonderful. It is 8:04. You have a much or very well-deserved dinner coming up. I just want to say thank you so very much for bringing your just wonderful energy to our show. I really appreciate you. It is so wonderful to see your face. Please tell everyone I said hello inside your house. I adore all of you. And thank you very much for coming on and just being you.
Thank you, Justin. So honored to join you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for having me. Thank you all for watching and tuning in. And so much love and light.
All right. Thanks. Take care. All right. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Bye. Can you see can you understand why I absolutely adore her? She is such a wonderful and kind person, and everything that you can see, I will put my entire reputation on it. Everything that you see Laura being up on the screen is exactly who she is. And who she is absolutely wonderful. Okay, so before we wrap everything up tonight, again, if you want to be part of the Broadway Princess Party, all you have to do is go to www.broadwayprincessparty.com. Is that right? That's right, Laura? Is that broadwayprincessparty.com? Okay, I got it right. I want to send people in the wrong place. There it is. There it is. It's up on the ticker, or was up on the ticker. broadwayprincessparty.com. It is right there. Go check it out. I can tell you from experience, it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And if you liked this show, please share it. Like it on Facebook, retweet it on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube. This has been absolutely amazing, and I've enjoyed all of your comments and thoughts tonight, as I do each week. For further discussion, join our community of hope by texting 310-510-6034, texting the word hope to 310-510-6034, 310-510-6034, or you can click on the link in the description of this video. Thank you so very much to our community of hope, our community of viewers. You are what make this possible. You are who makes this possible, and you make this show what it is. This is for you. Okay, one last time, that number that you can text is 310-510-6034. Join us next Thursday. We usually do Wednesdays, but join us next Thursday at 8 p.m. We're changing it up. We're changing it up. We got an awesome show. Broadway star James Monroe Iglehart will be my guest. Until then, have a wonderful week, and we will see you soon. Let's roll the outro. Bye, everybody.